meeting, Minister of Education Wakasa. First time Wakasa didn't send me a Twitter. Why winning Minister of Education right now? Haruna Iddrisu and I just say Minister of Education. Wabamonte so I didn't send me a Twitter. FRA Ghana education system. Now I mess them way. So by Jim way, I just say what coming on now. Yabo between some now you could see a minister one. And somehow the ato and Monteswa Ghana for
The Convention on the Rights of the Child, adopted in 1989, goes further to stipulate that countries shall make higher education accessible to all. In Ghana, we emphasize access, relevance, and quality when it comes to higher education. When it was adopted by the UN in 2030 to work towards Agenda 2030 in September 2015, the international community recognized that education is essential for the success of all 17 of the SDG 4 goals. So you see, you need education in order that you can achieve all the goals that are set in the resolution which was adopted in September 2015. In particular, to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all by 2030. Ghana subscribes to this position. So as we promise, addressing these challenges requires strong partnership. The government, private sector, international organizations and communities must unite to dismantle the systematic barriers that continue to marginalize groups such as girls, children, and persons with disabilities from accessing quality education. Transition between the parent and the school in providing for the upbringing of children is a weakened structure, and therefore teachers will have to play a more critical role during that period. We also must ensure that they are all in fact in school. So that's why free compulsory universal basic education must include free compulsory secondary education. If you make it free and it's not compulsory, then people can walk the streets. So we'll deal with it as an emerging social problem. Thank you. We will have to expand access to broadband infrastructure generally. In Ghana, we are all used to a major service provider who provides you access to internet. You don't even have redundancy for our purposes. We need to extend fiber and broadband to all educational institutions, in particular public tertiary institutions. You cannot prepare for an AI digital literacy future without internet connectivity. That would mean that we need to collaborate with the Ministry of Communication and other private sector in order to be able to provide that. One of the major things we intend to do is to roll out solar on all basic schools and free senior high schools in order to take them off the national grid. We intend that this year will announce a launch of that initiative.
Data from the Ghana Mining Repository shows that over 100 mining-related licenses were issued in the last week of former President Akufo-Addo's New Patriotic Party government. Out of the 103 licenses issued in the year 2025, 102 were granted between January 1st and January 6th before the swearing in of President John Dramani Mahama. This means only one license has been issued under the current government. We'll bring you a breakdown of the figures shortly, but first, 2 persons have died and 1 in critical condition in a renewed illegal mining siege on the Tano Anwea Forest Reserve in the Awin municipality of the Western Region. Joy News can confirm the 2 groups who have laid siege in the forest on Wednesday engaged in a fight leading to the death of 2 and 1 in critical condition with severe gunshot wounds. The armed groups, led by known political act, have taken over the biodiversity area and mining illegally since power changed hands, threatening the lives of forestry officials and concessionaires. LRFM's Erastus Asaridonko report.
The Tano Anwea Forest Reserve was invaded early last year by known political actors in the Awin municipality, spearheaded by armed thugs. clean jobs, the company with a legal concession in the area has been teaming up with the Forestry Commission to ward off the illegal miners, preventing full-scale destruction of the reserve. But after a momentary respite following a change in power, two armed groups have taken over, laying siege and engaging in the illegal mining of the biodiversity area. Sources on the ground accuse the MP for the area of sponsoring the fresh siege on the forest with close to 17 excavators. But Oscar Oforilabi has denied involvement, but confirms those mining are party boys. Members of a rapid response team dispatched to stop the illegality were later accosted outside the forest area by the illegal miners on motorbikes, taken to an unknown location and assaulted. Joy News checks revealed they seized the weapons of some of the forest guards. On Wednesday, the two armed groups who have laid siege in the Tananya Forest Reserve engaged in a fight, leading to the death of two and one in a critical condition with severe gunshot wounds. Sources at the Forestry Commission say forest guards are unable to discharge their duties anymore because of the latest invasion. Forest reserves affected in the latest wave of invasion include Tananya, Tanonimre, and the Yoyo Forest Reserves. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Awin Municipality, Western Region.
Well, the big headline is 103 mining licenses issued in just the first 19 days of this year. But is this just the tip of the iceberg? Joy News researcher has been analyzing the numbers, and lead data analyst here at Joy News, Isaac Kofi, joins me with details. Kofi, what do we know?
Talking about the big headline, 103, but if I take you back to memory lane, 1995 to 2025, the figure definitely is just a tip of the iceberg. 2,127 is the total number of mining licenses issued since 1995. And we've had how many presidents? 5 presidents in this period. Now, what we're going to do is to use the Ghana Mining repository to actually analyze this number, that 2,127, mining lines issued under this period. Now, if you look at Jerry John Rawlings from 1995 to 2000, how many licenses did he actually issue? The number is there, 24. Out of that over 2,000 lines, he issued 24 of them. President John Ejekun Kufuor issued 14 licenses from 2001 to 2008, stretching it to, Atamils, may so rest in peace, Professor Fifi Evans Atamils, may so rest in peace. He actually issued 7 licenses, the least amongst all we've seen so far, from 2009 to 2012. John Dramani Mahama comes to the picture, and from 2012 to 2016. Why 2012? Because he stepped in when Atamils, passed away. 2012 to 2016, if you look at the data, he issued 44 licenses. If you look at the data from the repository, then we come to the big number. 2,037, almost like a year. 2,037 licenses issued by or under President Akufo-Addo from 2017.
But remember, during his campaign, he said he would regularize small-scale mining, right?
Exactly. That could be one of the reasons why we saw a number of lines. And we also know that it was this period that we saw, the hike in illegal mining activities.